This game is more of a remaster than a remake in my eyes. It's basically the Sega Saturn original with some better graphics and a new control option, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Welcome to completion number 98 of the Potato Backlog Project. Make sure you stick around to the end of the video for the only rating system that matters in 2024, the Tater Raider, and let's talk about Panzer Dragoon. Released in 2020, this is a self-proclaimed remake of the Sega Saturn original from way back in 1995. This was actually one of the North American launch titles for the Sega Saturn and was pretty highly regarded back in the day. I'll just mention quickly, I think a remake is a new build, a new game based off the old game, but improved in like every possible way. A remaster for me is modernizing the game's visuals and controls, but keeping everything else as close to the original as possible. This feels like a remaster to me, but maybe there's something lost in translation there, as the Xbox store calls the game a remake. Anyways, faithful to the original from everything I've seen, this is an on-rails 3D shooter, very simple in nature, but addicting at the same time. You are a soldier of some type that befriends a blue dragon. The original rider gets killed in the opening cinematic. You find him and just kind of take his position. You become tasked with hunting down this other dragon before it reaches a certain area and goes super evil. So nothing too crazy or complex, but enough to get you going and motivated to shoot at bad guys. The gameplay is fairly simple. It is essentially a one-button game. You can hold the button to lock onto multiple targets at the same time, you release and it shoots beams at everybody, or tap it as fast as you possibly can to unleash as many shots as you can as fast as you can. Even though the game is on rails, you do have some range of movement within your aiming. You can dodge obstacles and you can change your view between 4 different quadrants around you: left, right, forwards, and backwards. So it's a 360-degree playing field of things to shoot. The game is fairly short. There are 6 episodes you fly through, with a 7th episode that ends up being the final boss. You can replay all the episodes for high scores and achievements, but for me, with this one, when I was done, I was pretty much done. This felt very much like an old school arcade game, which makes a lot of sense. I later read that the team behind designing the game was one that got it started making arcade games. For a game held in some regards as a super classic, there isn't much to come back to here in my eyes. It's not that it's a bad game, but it isn't really something that stands out as a must play for me, and it doesn't really hold out as an experience you would go out of your way for in 2024. 2 happy potato faces out of 5. If you're curious and you catch it on a sale, go for it, but don't expect to be blown away. With that, the Backlog Project rolls on. Thanks for watching. Be kind to yourselves and other people that deserve it. We're on to the next one.